Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
We can hear.
Okay, today we are not having the scheduled program. Today I'm going to conduct you a psychology session, and your today's session will be conducted tomorrow by Rohan sir. Right, there was a mutual change. There is a mutual change. Right. Sorry for the inconvenience. Right. If you are not ready with your psychology module, please be prepared. I'll give you about 2 minutes, so you can come back with your books or whatever the presentations you have with. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Today, now last week we discussed Piaget's theory, so we are going to elaborate on this. Right. Shall we? Right. Intellectual development through acquisition of concept we have discussed. So okay, right. Let's recap on the lesson that we did last week. Right. Okay. Can you tell me who Jean Piaget is? Hello.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
Okay, let's start now.
Hope you
You can hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Okay, right. Uh,
Okay, now, right, last week we discussed intellectual development through acquisition of concepts. Can you remember? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, no? Yeah. Okay, let's move on from there, right? So last week we discussed some key points. I would like to elaborate on some points today as well, right? Okay. So what is the concept? Hello.
Something helps for child to understand the surrounding
Yeah, actually,
location.
yeah, it is really a kind of a mental picture of understanding something, concepts, right? So usually concepts help us to understand things, right? Concept formation is very important when it comes to cognitive development of children. Right? These concepts are developed through through a certain mechanism. I think you are familiar with the word called schema. What is a schema? Did we discuss what a schema is? Hello? Did we discuss what a schema is? Okay, what is meant by a schema? We'll see. I'm going to share a presentation with you. I think I have already sent you some presentations. Okay. So Jean Piaget, a Swiss psychologist, has defined cognitive development into 4 stages. What are those 4 stages? Hello? Yes? Sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. Okay. What are the 4 stages of cognitive development of children? Yes.
Sensory motor scale, pre-operational scale, concrete operational, and formal operational
Okay.
stage.
So in the first stage, sensory motor stage, what is the duration? It is from the birth up to 2 years or 24 months. Right. The child begins to interact with the environment during this period. Right. Then next stage is 2 to 6 or 7 years. This is known as pre-operational stage. The child begins to represent the world symbolically. So he starts using the language. Using the language is representing the word symbolically. Right. So likewise, concept formation and all that start happening during this pre-operational stage. Right. Then comes the concrete operational stage, 7 to 11. This is a more advanced stage than the earlier 2 stages. Then finally comes the most advanced stages, that is called formal operational stage. That is from 12 years onwards up until his adulthood. And when he become an adult also, he has the same mental capacities. Do you have the presentation with you, or should I share the screen? Hello? Do you have the presentation with you? Should I share the screen? Please answer. Hello?
We have the presentations, but it's possible to share the screen as well, so it will be better.
Yeah. So I'm having trouble in sharing. That's why I want. If you have it, I can continue. Right. So because I like.
I'm okay. I have my slide with me. I don't know, like
How
we
about
can
the
check with
others?
others too. Yeah.
Are others also all right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go to the first slide. Let's go to the first slide. Now it gives you the 4 stages. Now let's come to second one. Second one, it gives you a bit of details about Jean Piaget and his contribution. Jean Piaget was a Swiss developmental psychologist. His theory of intellectual or cognitive development is still used today. I discussed this last week, but I want to just explain you some of the areas, some of the gray areas that you had. Right, that's why. Right, so we'll move quickly. Right, so according to right now. Let's move to the third slide. According to him, cognitive development occurs through the interaction of innate capacities and the environmental events, and children pass through them in a series of stages. Right. So how this cognitive development takes place? It is by the interaction between innate capacities and the environmental events. Okay, what is meant by innate capacities? What is meant by a innate capacity? It is more like inborn talent or inborn skills that these children have is what we call innate capacity. And they are born with certain skills. We have a special name for that, right? So they use it to interact with the environment. When they do so, they develop certain concepts. Those concepts are absorbed into the children's mind. Right? So these concepts are formed in the children's mind, and these are the things that we know as schema. This schema represents certain ideas, right? So these schemas are absorbed into human mind through two processes called assimilation and accommodation. So when children interact with their environment, they develop their mental capacities. Most of these children, most of these stages occur in a series. Children pass through them in a series of stages. We'll see how it happens. So Piaget made several assumptions about children while developing his theory. In developing his theory, child made some assumptions. These are the assumptions. Children build their own knowledge based on their experiences. Children learn things on their own without influence from adults or older children. Children are motivated to learn by nature. They don't need rewards as motivation. These were the assumptions he made. So Piaget's stages, as I mentioned you, 18 months to 24 months. I mean, a sensory motor stage from birth to 18 to 24 months. Pre-operational stage 2 to 7 years. Concrete operational stage 7 to 11 years, and formal operational stages from 12 and up. So during these stages, certain developments take place. So in the next slide, we can see what those developments are. In the sensory motor stage, certain characteristics are there, and they have certain goals, right? Okay, in the sensory motor stage, what are the characteristics? Motor activity without use of symbols. During this period, they can perform motor activity. Motor activity means they can move their body, they can scroll, they can roll, they can crawl, and also they can use their arms and legs. They can kick their legs, and they can stretch their arms and hold things. So these and also, right, so various motor activities they can perform, but yeah, they are not yet ready for symbolic uses, right? They learn all the things based on their experiences, right? The method usually they follow is trial and error. The goal during this period is object permanence. During this period, they understand that the other objects also have their own existence. Now, say for example, right, during this period, right, actually, right, their goal is to develop this object permanence, but during this period, they haven't developed it yet. That is why, right, you may have seen, if a child is crying, asking for a certain object, the moment you hide it, he will forget about it, because the concept of object permanence is not yet available in him. It will, so during this stage, goal is to achieve that, but it will be achieved little later, not during this period. So finally they develop it, so that once it is developed, they know that objects have an existence even if they are not able to see it, right? Once they have developed this, they will now when your child is crying, right, asking for your phone, what you do is you hide it. Then after hiding, the child stop crying, because the child hasn't developed object permanence. So he will cry only if he sees it. Only the things he can see, that only the things he can see, he believes exist. Things he don't see, he doesn't be things he doesn't see, doesn't believe that they exist. But this idea is lost when he develops object permanence. So during that period, right now, if the child still cries, even if after you have hidden it, it means he has kind of developed object permanence, because he understand, although you hid it, it is that toy or whatever thing exists, and he is demanding you to give it to him. Okay, now let's come to next stage, pre-operational stage. This is 2 to 7 years. During this period, a lot of cognitive development takes place. One example, some of the characteristics are development of language. It is during this period that these children start using the language. They speak basic language, and also they develop their language. They develop their memory, and also they develop their imagination also to a certain extent during this period. During this period, right, they develop their intelligence also, but there's one major feature in the characteristic in this period, that they are very egocentric, right? They believe the world is centered around them, so very egocentric, and they are very selfish. They look at things from their own point of view. They thinks they look at terms. They look at things in terms of their perspective only. Right now, say for example, right, they don't believe that they are. I told you they are egocentric, means they think everything is for them. They want everything, right? During this period, right, you have seen this. Children are very they don't want to part with the things they love, especially toys, pets, and even parents. They don't want to share it with anyone, right? You have seen when you have children of this age, right now, especially if you have a child who is about 4 to 5 years old, when you are if you are if they get a younger brother or sister, they are very jealous of them. They are very jealous because they don't want to lose the love that he is getting from his parents. So they are kind of jealous of their younger siblings. This is as a result of this egocentricness in them. They are very selfish and egocentric during this period. But one of the main objectives and one of the main goals of this stage is developing symbolic thought. So they are able to develop their symbolic thought, and they are able to use a language, and they are able to perform basic arithmetic activities as well. So this is the stage called pre-operational stage. So the next stage is concrete operational. This is a more advanced stage of cognitive development. During this period, they are able to solve problems, and they are able to do logical thinking, and they are able to master language. So some of the characteristics are they are more logical in their thought, and they are very methodical, and they are very manipulative, and also they are able to manipulate symbols. So their egocentricness becomes less during this period. So they become gregarious. Gregarious means they become fond of being mixed with the other children, and they develop a sense of themselves, and they develop their personality during this period. So they like to have friends. They like to share things with friends and all that, and they are aware of outside world and the events. So they like to be grouped with the people of the same age and the same sex. So the goal of this era is operational thought. So they develop that, but not to the extent that they would develop it when they move to the next stage. The most advanced stage is known as the formal operational period stage. During this stage, this stage occurs from adolescence to adulthood, and when they remain as adults also, they are in this stage. Right? There are some of the characteristics of this stage are they use of symbols to relate abstract concepts. They are able to understand they are able to understand abstract concepts. Abstract concepts they are able to understand. Right now, during the concrete operational period, they are able to understand concrete concepts only, right? So during this formal operational period, they can't think in abstract terms during the concrete operational period, but during the formal operational period, they develop that ability, and so they are able to think in abstract, think in abstract terms. It means even if the things are not in the existence, they can think about them and they can manipulate them and they can logically calculate them and they can work on them. Now, say for example, right now, one major difference you can see right now. In mathematics, geometry is taught to students when they reach formal operational stage. That means geometry classes, geometry begins in grade 8. Grade 8 means the children are about 13 years old. That means they have reached formal operational stage. Because in geometry, there are many things that you have to think in abstract. So you have to use a lot of imagination and all that. So if you haven't reached that stage, you are not able to do it. That is why geometry lessons are not given for students below grade 8. As I remember, geometry started grade 8 because they have reached that stage. So not only geometrical solutions, they are able to solve problems and they can resolve conflicts and they can logically argue. So all these logical thinking, logical arguments, and all these problem solving capacities are developed by children during this formal operational stage. If a child has reached a formal operational stage, that means he has achieved cognitive maturity. Okay, so what are the 4 stages again? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So what are the 4 stages?
Sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete stage, and formal operational stage.
Okay. Can you give me some major developments during these 4 stages with some characteristics? One by one. One person, please tell me what are the major characteristics of sensory motor stage?
That's the age that the motor activity without symbolic lag.
So only they have reflex actions. You know what are called reflex actions? The actions they are programmed to react, right, for their survival. Right. Something like if anything touches their face, what they do is they turn towards that object and start sucking it. That is, he is trained like that to suck milk from his mother's breast. Right. So what happens right now? If you are feeding, if you have the experience of feeding, you know, right? When your nipple touches the child's face, he turns towards it and starts sucking milk, right? Because he is programmed like that. He is biologically programmed. So that is a reflex action. They are able to perform reflex actions plus some more activities like rolling, crawling, and throwing hands and kicking legs likewise. Right. So what is the goal during this period? Hello.
Object performance.
Object permanence. What is meant by object permanence? That objects have an existence even without his seeing or not. Even if the child cannot see, objects have their own existence. The main goal at this stage is to establish an understanding of object permanence. That means, in other words, knowing that an object still exists even if you can't see it or it is hidden. So during this stage, right, sensory motor stage covers children from birth to 18 to 24 months. So some of the characteristics are motor activity without use of symbols. All things are learned based on experiences. What is the method they learn things during this period? Hello.
Trial and error, using
Trial
trial
and
and
So
error.
we will discuss what is trial and error, right? When it, right, we have another lesson, right? Learning theories. In that we will discuss what is trial and error and how, right? Its advantages and disadvantages and all that, right? So basically, we do many things by trial and error. Right now, when you get a phone, or say for example, you buy a new or advanced TV set. Right? Does anybody teach you how to operate it? Hello?
No, no,
So how do you do it? You use the gadgets, available gadgets
we
like,
use
yeah.
it ourselves and we learn by it.
So first you try it, you try to manipulate the remote you have, right? And so first, are you successful in the first attempt? No, basically you make mistakes, but through the mistakes you understand, but while making mistakes, you come across the right way of doing it. So what will happen? Then you establish that in mind, and next time you will not make that mistake, and you will learn what you have found accidentally. You will learn, right? So this is what we call trial and error, right? So we'll discuss in detail, right? Let's move to the next stage, pre-operational, right? This is the stage of 2 to 7 years. So what is this stage? During pre-operational stage, which education do children get? Hello? Yes, my dears? This is their preschooling period. When do you send your kid to the preschool? During which, at what age? Hello?
4, 5,
Yeah.
at
When
the
they
age
are
of 4, 5.
3 or 4, when they are 5, you send them to school.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. So after 2 means this is the period they are in a pre-operational period. So this is the period when they start picking the language. And right now, by this
And
time,
they have the ability of imagination and
they have the ability of imagination, right? But not very advanced thinking, right? They can't think in abstract terms during this period. This is what Piaget says, right? Now, we can't say all this is true because there are some students who are very capable of doing certain advanced thinking even when they are very young as well. Right? But now this is a common thing. Now we are not talking about gifted children or exceptional children. We are talking about average. So on average, most of the children during this period have the characteristics that we mentioned here. What are they? Right, they started picking the language.
they are egocentric and
So
they have some amount of memories,
they have memory and also imagination.
object permanence.
Yeah, memory and imaginations is developing. It start occurring in them, right?
Start.
Yeah, and they're very egocentric. Examples for them to be egocentric: they're very jealous of their younger children, younger siblings. And also they don't want to part with their toys, even if it is not useful for them. They don't want to part with them. They don't allow you to give it to anybody. Right? They will start crying and all that. They think the world is centered around him. Right? He believes everything happens for his benefit. Likewise. So if any event doesn't have any relevance to him, it is not important to him. It's more like that. So during this stage, what are the main achievements during this stage? They start using the language. I mean, the symbolic thinking occurs during this period. Symbolic thought is a type of thinking where a word or object is used to represent something other than itself. Right now. Now, before this time, right, words meant only just a sound, but now those sounds have a meaning for them. So, so he can do the symbolic representation during this period. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, now during this period also, right now, okay. Now, when you get children of this stage, right, what do you need to do? Right now, you are not nursery teachers, I know, right? But If there are any nursery teachers, or if there are teachers who are teaching these children of this age, what should you do? You should facilitate them to develop their language, and you have to give them some pictures and develop concept development. Also, you should facilitate by giving encouraging them to read what should you make them to read? Picture stories and things like that, because with the picture it associates a meaning. So this is the period during which they develop concepts. So this is a very important period. So right now, during this period, right now, some people try to teach children numbers and also language, writing and all that. Is it is it appropriate to do so? Teaching mathematics and teaching writing and all that during this period? Hello. Hope you can hear me.
No, yes, we can hear.
Yeah. Now,
No, this stage is not appropriate to teach. I mean, the basic mathematics skill and all, but about counting numbers and all, they can learn better.
Actually, we should not teach them to write, because writing doesn't have any meaning to them. Right? Writing is a more writing is a more complex skill. Right. So this is the stage where you have to give them more listening practice, more listening and speaking. Writing and
speaking.
yeah, listening and speaking, right? But I have seen some may make a big mistake of making children write, right? So actually, like when it comes to language teaching in Sri Lanka, especially English language teaching, one big mistake that the parents and some teachers do is trying to teach children of this age write. So the first thing they do is they make them write A. They are given a double rule book and ask them to write A. This is A. Then B. Then they have problems with understanding what is this A, because the A although they learn something called A, it doesn't have any connection with the sound it makes. A, what is the sound it makes? A sound. What is the sound of A? Hello.
It's let sound the phonetical sound is a.
It's basically A, right? So now there is a trend. There is a trend to introduce the sounds instead of the name of the letter. We call it A is presented as A. So then they will, when they see apple, they might be able to pronounce it. Why? They know what A means A. So apple. Likewise, ant, right? All these things they will be able to do only if you teach them the proper sound instead of the name. So we presently recommend teachers, especially the children teachers who are doing teaching these Montessori students, to introduce the sound instead of the name of the letter. Later on, you can say, well, this is the name of the letter. But at this stage, children are confused sometimes. So sometimes it makes children unable to learn the language as well. So don't force them to write. Writing is, they are not ready to write as yet, but you can make them listen. You can read stories to them. You can make them listen to songs. And also you can make them sing songs. They are quite good at following you. They are good at really pronouncing words. They are very good at picking you. Now, one more important thing is right now, have you heard of the concept called elocution? Elocution classes, have you heard of? Hello? Have you heard of?
Yeah.
So this is an ideal stage for putting them into elocution classes. Why? So their speech organs are formed during this period.
Yeah.
So they are able to pronounce words very nicely. They are able to follow what the others. They are very good at imitating the sounds of the others, the elders. So any sound that you make, they will be able to make, they will be able to pronounce, why? Because their speech organs are adjustable during this period. So during this period, giving them more tongue twisters and training them for pronouncing words is better. That is why, right? That is why now you can see when you see a person, right? You see a vast difference of the speeches speaking of a person who is speaking English from the tender age and a person who learns English after reaching maturity. Now some children learn English only after O levels. So those children, right, make some mistakes in pronunciation. They are not very good as those who learned from the small age, because their speech organs, by the time they start learning language, their speech organs have been formed. So it will be very difficult for them to pronounce certain words. You may have come across some students who are always saying speak, special. Have seen people like that? Hello. Have you come across your students who are using is school instead of school? They would say school, special. They, instead of s sound, they would use is. That is because they haven't developed this, and also they have some problems with pronouncing f and f sounds and per sounds. If because their speech organs are not used to this. Instead of fan, they would say pan. Put the pan, they would say. They are not able to pronounce per sound. So instead they would make the per sound. Likewise. Right. So the most important thing is you should not force them to what? Write. You should not force them to what? Hello? Hope you are listening to me.
Should
Yes,
force
sir.
them to write. Yeah.
Yeah. So some now some of our parents are really disappointed when they see that their children are not taught to write when they go to kindergarten or the nurseries. The job of the nursery is not to make them write, but to give them concept development, concept formation, and developing their language, verbal, I mean speaking and listening, and also socialization, because it is the place where they socialize. We will talk about socialization later on, social development. So during this period, children are egocentric and they like to keep to themselves. They don't move with the others very much. Okay, let's move to the next stage. Concrete operational. This is a more advanced form for stage. I told you, this is the period, right, where children are very gregarious. What is called gregarious? Gregarious means what? They like to form cliques, but these cliques, they like to make friends with others, but there is a big difference between these people's gregariousness and the gregariousness of adolescent people, because these people like to group themselves with only the people of their own sex. If it is a boy, he would like to pair with only boys, right? Then if they are paired with a girl, they would hate it, right? So during this period, they are very concerned about these things, right? Children are much less egocentric in the concrete operational stage. So period of the stage is 7 to 11 years, right? And they are able to logically and methodically manipulate symbols. That means during this period, they can learn algebra and arithmetic. But I told you not. Right. What shouldn't be taught at this stage? Now in maths, we know arithmetic is dealing with numbers. what is called algebra? What is algebra?
Unknown numbers, sorry, unknown factors like X and
Unknown
Y,
numbers
and
like X and Y,
yeah.
yes. Right.
finding the unknown terms and
Yeah.
all.
So they are good at learning these things at this stage, but don't try to teach them geometry because they are not ready. Their brain is not ready to learn it, because geometry involves a lot of abstract thinking, and they haven't developed abstract thinking during this period. But during this period, you can develop their concepts by giving them more pictures, right? More visual aids. Now, this is why visual aids are very important when you are teaching in these classes. When you are teaching primary or junior secondary classes, visual aids play a very big role, because visual aids will help you to convey concepts to your children very easily, so they will understand. If you can use visual aids, pictures, and even realias are the best visual aids, and you have to use some bright and nice colors, nice drawings and all that. And as a teacher also, you should look very presentable, right? These children like all these things because they are attracted to those things. And the main goal at this stage is for a child to start working things out inside their head. Now they are able to manipulate things, and they are able to, they begin to think logically, but they haven't mastered logical thinking as yet. But they try to become, they begin to be logical. They begin to have rational thought, but they are not very rational. This is called so operational thought is what? Start working things out inside their head is called operational thought. So it is at this stage that they develop what is called operational thought, and it allows kids to solve problems without physically encountering things in the real world. So the operational thought starts during this period. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear.
1 minute. Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me. I'm getting a call. Wait a while. Yes. Okay, Nani. Lecture ini. Kiano. Pasagan. Hari. Mang may gula orang nangi. Sorry for the delay. Okay. So. Main idea is operational thought, and it allows kids to solve problems without physically encountering things in the real world. Right. So what is the last stage? Formal operational stage. This is the most, this is the highest development of cognitive development. Children from 11 years, 12 to 19 belong to this stage, and even the adults, even us, belong to this stage. Formal operational, right? We also have the same capacity, but basically the formal operational stage is from 12 to 19, teenage. Children, right? One milestone of this period is using symbols to understand and thinking in abstract. They are able to understand abstract concepts. They can imagine. They have developed their imagination, and also they can rationalize, and also they can think about hypothetical situations. What is called a hypothetical situation? Hello. Hypothetical situation is what? Yes. Hypothetical. Right now, imagine situation. They can think about. They can imagine a certain situation in their mind and make decisions for them. Now, say for example, right now, if you ask the children of earlier stages, like formal operation, concrete operational, or pre-operational stage, if you ask them to write, what will happen if a landslide occurs, or if a nuclear bomb blast, right? They might not be able to write, but these children are capable of writing it. If they have knowledge, they can write it because they can imagine about a hypothetical situation which may occur in the future, and they can write essays based forming these ideas in their minds as to what would happen. They can think about hypothetical situations. What is called an hypothetical situation? Imagine situation. What is hypothetical situation? Hello.
An imaginary situation.
General situation. So they are able to they are able to visualize things in their mind very nicely and enjoy these things. Right? So during this period, they are very good at daydreaming. Have you seen these children of this age daydreaming? They may be thinking about pleasant things and they can enjoy it like watching a film in image in their mind. All the children and adults also think about multiple variables and come up with hypotheses based on previous knowledge. So now these children are able to think about multiple variables. Usually, right, they can right now. Usually we are able to think about concentrate on one thing at one time. But when you reach this formal operation stage, you can concentrate on more than one thing at one stage as well. Piaget believed that once a person reaches the formal operational stage, it is more about building upon knowledge, not changing how it is acquired or understood. Okay. I want you to read a little about schema, assimilation, and accommodation and equilibration. I will explain these things once you have gone through these slides. I'll give you 5 minutes, goes through these slides and come back. Okay. Okay. Did you hear me?
Okay, sir.
Okay, what are those concepts? Schema, assimilation, accommodation, and equilibration. Okay, what is a schema? Yes. What is a schema?
It's the building blocks of knowledge.
It's a building block of knowledge. So what does it mean really right now? Do you understand what is, it's really a concept, right? Schema is a kind of,
Yeah, it basically informs an individual how to react to a new situation or a new
Actually,
information.
actually, schema is something that is a new information or a new concept they form in their mind. It is right now, right now, say for example, right now, Dada or Tata, right now he has a schema of Dada or Tata, right? So, right. So, right, because the children are told this is your Dada and all that, right? Then when they see people like his father, not his father, but when he sees next door uncle also, they will call Dada. Why is that? Because the schema of father is in his present in him. So he will try to apply it to people whom he sees. That's why he would call Dada. A very young child would call Dada to some other gent, right, who looks like his father. So applying available knowledge to cope with another external situation is also known as assimilation. What is assimilation? Applying already existing schemas to cope with another environmental event is assimilation. Now example, right now they have developed the schema of sucking schema they have developed. So whenever they are given whenever they are given a toy or something, the first thing they try is they try to suck it. Now you give him a pencil, he would try to do the same. So he will keep on sucking the pencil because he is able to put it into his mouth and do it, right. So when a similar, right, trying to apply the non knowledge to interact with the unknown things in the outside world is known as assimilation, right. But now accommodation is what? Changing the existing schema in applying to a foreign situation. Now say for example, right, when you present a child with the ball, what will he do? First he will try to suck it. Can he do it? Hello. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, so when it's not works, like the child start tapping on it or grabbing
Yeah.
on it in
Yeah,
different.
so he will try the first thing he knows, what is trying to put the ball into his mouth, and he can't do it because the ball is too big for him. So he will try some other means of tackling it, like pushing the ball, touching the ball, and doing some other actions with that. This is what we call accommodation. You change your behavior to cope with the foreign situation. This is what we call accommodation. Right. Then what is called equilibration is what? What is equilibration? Piaget developed the concept of equilibration to describe how new information is balanced with existing knowledge. So equilibration is what? Balance, balancing new information with the existing knowledge is equilibration. What is equilibration? Yes.
Balancing new information with the existing information.
Right. So, right, through assimilation and accommodation, what he tries to do is achieve equilibration. Right. When he make a connection with the new situation with his already available knowledge, that means he has achieved equilibration. So through assimilation and accommodation, what he tries to do is he tries to achieve equilibration. Now, if you read my slide, you can see there are a variety of terms Piaget used in his theory to explain cognitive development and how it is achieved at different stages. Schema is a term he used to represent the building blocks of knowledge. Another word for this is concept. What is it? Another word for schema is what?
Concept.
Concept. You may think of schemas as different index cards inside the brain. They are more like different files, right, in the brain. Right. Each one informs the individual on how to react to new information or situation. So these different schemas inform the individual on how to react with new information on the situations. Now, why do they apply assimilation and accommodation? In order to achieve equilibration. Go to the next slide. Assimilation is using an existing schema and applying it to a new situation or object. So what is accommodation? Is change in approaches when an existing schema doesn't work in a particular situation, that we can understand. Equilibration is the driving force that moves all development forward. Right? It is to achieve equilibration that we apply both assimilation and accommodation. Is it clear to you? Hello. Are these ideas clear to you? Or do you have any
So
doubt?
when it's come to, so when it's come to equilibration, it's like as you explained earlier, the assimilation, if we got the phonics knowledge of the sounds, then we can read the words based on the sounds. The accommodation comes when we cannot use the phonetical sounds to read words, the kind of the side words. So equilibration is when we read the sentences, use of all the sounds and the words together with the sentence. Is it like that?
Let's not confuse it with sounds. So let's think about, let's confuse it more with some more concrete operations, right? Because sounds are symbolic representations. So let's go to something like right now. Actually, they see something now, or they can suppose how do they now? For this, you have to understand how do these children react with the environment? With what? How do they perceive the environmental changes or experiences? With what? Yes? With their senses. How many senses do they have? Five. They have 5 sensory organs. What are they? What are the 5 sensory organs they have? Eyes, nose, tongue, and what?
Skin.
Skin and ear. So this sensory information, right? This sensory information is identified by the concepts they build up in their mind. So now, as I told you right now, assimilation is trying to apply the already existing knowledge to understand a certain new concept. So this trying to understand a new concept using the existing knowledge is equilibration. In order to do this, he applies 2 methods. They are assimilation and accommodation. Is it clear to you? So what does he want to do? He wants to achieve equilibration. He wants to balance his existing knowledge with the new knowledge, and he wants to understand it. Right? In order to do so, he follows 2 methods. They are known as assimilation and accommodation. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So in assimilation, what he does is in both assimilation, by applying both assimilation and accommodation, what he tries to do is he tries to achieve equilibration. Equilibration is what? Balancing new knowledge with the previous knowledge and trying to understand it. It's kind of understanding it. Okay. So Piaget didn't believe that development, right? So this cognitive development, did he believe it happened steadily? I mean, believe steadily, little by little? No, he believed it moved in leaps and bounds, not steadily. But development is there, but it can happen it happens at a certain stage it is slow, at a certain stage it is very fast. Likewise, it doesn't systematically develop. That's what he believed. Okay, now let's come to next slide. How to apply Piaget's stages to learning and development. Teachers and parents can help by providing children with different experiences or ways to explore and experiment with their environment. It is through these experiences that children may gain understanding of different concepts in a hands-on way. Right. That is why, right, now I told you, right, during when they are very small, they should be given more opportunities to see things, the pictures and real areas, and so then they will develop. They will so when they get more and more experiences, what will happen? They will develop their cognitive development. So what do you need to do? You, from the very small age, you have to take your children on educational excursions. Now, as a family, you have to make them take them with you when you have to go around the country and show them the places, give them the experiences. You have to make them meet people and get them to get the experiences. All these things you have to do so that children will get more experiences. It's with the experiences that children develop their cognitive development. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So I am coming to the next. I'm going to the next slide. Do you have it? We do, I think 3, 2, 3, 4.
The behavioral theories of learning, is that slide?
Wait, I'm going to open it. When I open it, I'll come to you. Give me a few seconds. Now, sorry, I'll have to do this slide later on, right? We have to do some more, right? Now we have finished cognitive development, right? We have to discuss moral development and social development. Give me a few seconds until I come out with until I share with you another slideshow. Okay. Okay, we have to start the concept of intelligence. Did I share you with share you this? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, right now I'm sharing you this. I will send you this. Okay, the concept of intelligence. Did I discuss with you this? Did I discuss this lesson with you last week? Hello.
No, sir.
Oh, okay. The concept of intelligence, right? Now I will share you this after this call. Now I am sharing, but I'll send it to you. The concept of development, how psychologists define intelligence. Now we are going to learn about the intelligence, right? After this, we'll come to the other stages like social development and emotional development also, right? First, we'll understand now. Most of us, right, are confused with the idea intelligence and cognition, right? Now let's see what is meant by intelligence. Psychologists define intelligence as the ability to learn and also ability to recognize problems and the ability to solve problems likewise. We'll see. What is intelligence? Intelligence can be defined in many different ways since there are a variety of individual differences. Intelligence to a lot of people is the ability to reason and respond quickly yet accurately in all aspects of life, such as physically, emotionally, and mentally. Right. So, what is intelligence? It is our ability to respond quickly, understand a situation, and respond quickly, whether it is a physical, emotional, or mental. It is what is called intelligence. Now we know one person called Jean Piaget, right? Jean Piaget is well known for his 4 stages of mental growth theory. His theory provides the basis for human intelligence by categorizing the major stages in child development and how they contribute to intelligence. So with the, right. Each of these stages has major cognitive skill that must be learned. The first fundamental process of intellectual growth is the ability to assimilate the new events learned into the pre-existing cognitive structures. The second fundamental process is the capability to change those structures to accommodate the new information, and the last process is to find equilibrium between the first 2 processes. Now, according to Piaget, right, in developing cognition, those cognitive development, Piaget divided into 4 stages, and also he named schema, assimilation, accommodation, and equilibration to name these stages and how those concepts are developed by the children. Right. Now let's come to another person called Howard Gardner, a psychologist at Harvard University, who has formulated an even more intriguing theory. This is called, right, multiple intelligences. He arranged human intelligence into 8 sections. What is this theory called? Hello. Hope you can hear me. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. What is it? What is his theory? Yes. Hope you can hear me. Howard Gardner. Can you see the? Can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes,
so we are right now. Another definition we are going to discuss, forwarded by another well-known psychologist. He is Howard Gardner. He came out with the theory called multiple intelligences. Now, up to the right, up until this person came up with this view, we all believed, right? Now we all had when as teachers, when we tended to categorize children as bright, as intelligent, and not intelligent. Who was supposed to be the intelligent children, right, earlier? Who was supposed to be the intelligent children? Yes. Now, in your assessment, right, who is an intelligent child? How do you identify an intelligent child? Yes? Yes, my dears, please come out with your suggestions. Hello. Whom do you call an intelligent child without considering this person? Right now, according to your previous knowledge, right now, I will tell you right now, we accepted as intelligent the people, students who are good at maths, and the students who are good at problem solving, who are good at logical thinking, maths, were considered to be the intelligent children. But now I think you also have the same idea. Do you believe so? Hello.
Yeah, the academic, highly achieved in academics, like get the
I
most
can see
intelligence.
right now, especially those who are good at maths. Those who are good at maths means what? They are able to do perform logical operations. Whom we consider intelligent are the people who are able to perform logical operations. Right. That was our belief, right? Then what about the children who are good at the other areas? We did not think that they are intelligent, right? Now there are some students who are very good at singing songs, who are good at dancing, and who are good at drawing, but we never consider them to be intelligent. But now Gardner has opened our eyes, and he has said, you can call intelligent not only people who are good at maths, but he has said there are 8 intelligences. He has divided intelligence into 8. Right. What are they? We'll see. Now in your picture, you can see them, right? Okay. This is his theory is known as multiple intelligences. Now he says, right, you can divide intelligence into 8 categories. What? Bodily kinestic means body smart people. Interpersonal means people smart people. Word smart means verbal linguistic intelligence. Then logical and mathematical intelligence is what we call logic smart. Though now those who are good at maths and all that, they are only logic smart. It is one kind of intelligence only. It was that one kind of intelligence which we use to categorize children, and to say, this is a bright one and this is a dull one, right? All those who are not good in this logical and mathematical, we categorize as dull. But now we can understand how very wrong we were, right? Why? There are 8 intelligences. So what? One is body smart, means bodily kinestic. That means the people who are able to perform sports and who are able to use their body and perform tasks are bodily kinestic people. That is also an intelligence. Right. Then people smart. They are interpersonal. That is called interpersonal intelligence. Bodily kinestic is being able to do sports and perform things with your body, and the ability to perform things with your right. If you are very good at socialization, and if you are good at winning the hearts of the other people or convincing them, that means if you are able to maintain good relations with people, that is also an intelligence. This is called interpersonal intelligence, right? Then if you are very good at words, if you can very smartly use words, and if you are very good if you are good at speech, and if you are very talkative, then you have a different intelligence called verbal linguistic intelligence. So the people with this intelligence are known as word smart. Those who are good at maths and logical thinking are known as logic smart, or this is called mathematical intelligence. Then there are people who are good at working with the nature. They are naturalistic. That is called naturalistic intelligence, and they are nature smart people. Right? And there are people who are very good at understanding themselves. They are called self smart people, because they are they have the intrapersonal intelligence. There are people who are good at mastering visual and spatial, things like right. So enjoying the environment and enjoying the pictures and all that, those they are known as picture smart people. good cameraman and all that. Then there are people who are good at singing or dancing and all that. They are known as music smart people, or that is called musical intelligence. So how many intelligences? Hello?
Eight.
What are they? Musical intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, verbal linguistic intelligence, logical and mathematical intelligence, and naturalistic intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, visual and spatial intelligence, or like what we call picture smart, and musical intelligence, music smart. So those, what are those 8 intelligences? Musical and rhythmic and harmonic intelligence, visual and spatial intelligence. Under this comes the right. Into the second category, you can put mechanical intelligence also, right? And linguistic and verbal intelligence. Third one, logical and mathematical. Fourth one, bodily kinesthetic. Those who are good at sports. So interpersonal means ability to maintain good relations with others. Interpersonal means ability to understand himself. And naturalistic intelligence means those who are good at dealing with the nature. So how many intelligence are there? Yes, according to Gardner. How many?
8.
8. What are they? Musical, rhythmic, and harmonic intelligence. Second one, visual and spatial intelligence. Linguistic and verbal intelligence, logical and mathematical intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, and naturalistic intelligence. So just because because one person is not good at one thing, we can't say that he is an idiot or he is a dull person, because he may have different intelligence, right? So there are children with if a child is having any of these intelligence, we could call him intelligent. Okay, let's move to the next slide. How is the intelligence measured? The Binet-Simon intelligence scale. This was developed by French psychologists Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon. This right. There are certain scales for measuring intelligence. Right. Okay. How is our intelligence measured? One scale is Binet-Simon intelligence. Now IQ. They are measured in IQ, intelligence quotients. This was one scale is Binet-Simon intelligence scale, which was developed by a French psychologist called Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon. This was administered to children to evaluate their performance, mental age. It is using this only, the mental age is measured. Do you know how is intelligence quotient is prepared? Hello. Now we are talking about how to measure intelligence. The measure. How do we measure our intelligence? Yes. You are not answering me because you don't know what. No, you don't hear me. The mental. Actually, there's something. Have you heard of something called IQ? Hello.
Yes.
So how is IQ measured? IQ is calculated like this: a person's mental age divided by the chronological age. How to find the mental age? Now chronological age we know. Right? Now I am 50 and my chronological age is 50. Right. But how to find my mental age? What should be done? You have to administer this Binet-Simon intelligence scale to me to find my mental age. So how is intelligence, how is IQ calculated? My mental age should be divided by my chronological age. Then the value you get is IQ, is known as our mental quotient or intelligence quotient. Clear? IQ is what? What is the full term of IQ?
Intelligent.
Intelligence quotient. Quotient, the word is there in this slide, you can see. So how is this intelligence quotient measured? How? Mental quotient should be divided by our chronological age. We know our chronological age. So in order to know the mental age, what do we have to mental quotient? What do we need to do? We have to administer Binet-Simon intelligence scale. Right. Right. Now, okay. Now, when talking about IQ, how much of IQ an average person is having? An average intelligent person is supposed to have how much of an IQ? Yes, you tell me, please. Okay, who is supposed to be most intelligent in Sri Lanka? By profession, you please tell me. Teachers, engineers, doctors, who? Hello?
Teachers.
There might be teachers, but the general acceptance is engineers are supposed to be the most intelligent ones. Qualified engineer, we call them. There's a different name for them. What we call a chartered engineer is supposed to have about 120 IQ. What is the average IQ level of an chartered engineer? Hello, tell me please. 120, how much?
120.
120, right. Right. It is how mental age is divided by chronological age and multiplied by 100, you get the intelligence quotient. Okay. So Einstein's, what is supposed to be the Einstein's IQ? Yes. Now Einstein is supposed to be one of the most intelligent persons that has lived in the modern era, in the last 500 years. He is supposed to his IQ level is estimated at what? Hello, 540 IQ. 540 IQ. What is Einstein's IQ level? Hello.
500.
540. Now, what is the IQ of a right engineer? It's about 120, right? Then you can decide what your IQ compared with these people, right? So now, do you understand the quantum theory? Hello. Do you understand quantum theory? What was the theory introduced by do you understand the quantum theory? Quantum theory is the theory, physics theory introduced by Albert Einstein. So I don't understand his theory. Now, according to his theory, it says, right, if you can travel at the speed of the light, you won't age. If you can travel faster than light, your age will be reduced. Now, So I don't understand this concept. Why I don't understand is because, right, my IQ level is far below to that of Einstein's. What Einstein's understood with his with 540 IQ brain, I cannot grasp because my mind is not developed up to the stage to understand it. Right? We'll see. Now I think most of you don't know what quantum theory is and what it means. You read and see whether you can understand, you can grasp that concept. If you are able, you are good. If you are not able, you are like me, because my capacity is not matched with Einstein's capacity of the brain. That's why I cannot understand the concept. Okay. So with this scale, you can find IQ. How to measure IQ? What is the equation for IQ measurement? IQ calculation? Yes, you can see
Mental age divided by chronological age and in 100.
multiplied into 100. In order to find your IQ, what do you need? You need your mental age. To find your mental age, you have to administer a B.Ed scale test for you. Okay. Now look at this bell curve. Scores between 90 and 110. This IQ, right? Scores between 90 and 110 are labeled as normal, above 130 superior, and below 70 mentally deficient or retarded. So if we put into a graph the intelligences of people, now you see who are considered as normal, those who are in the range of IQ 90 to 110 are supposed to be normal. I also think I'm in that category, but I haven't measured whether I'm in that category or lower category. Right? I'm not sure that I'm not in a superior category, maybe in the normal or lower, not in the superior. Okay, we'll see. According to this graph, in this there's a bell shape. There, normal range is what? IQ 90 to 110. No, normal rate is IQ 70 to 130. Below 70 is what? Retarded, mentally retarded. Above 130 is what? Superior. Between 70 and 130 is called normal. Scores between 90 and 110. Scores between 90 and 110 are labeled as normal, above 130 as superior, and below 70 as mentally deficient. Now, between 70 and 90, not below, they are not normal, just below normal, but not retarded. Then those who are above 110 and 130, they are more intelligent than the normal ones, but they are not superior. Who are superior? Those who have an IQ level of 130 or more. Is it clear to you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right. Who are mentally retarded? Who are the children or people with mentally retardation? Those who have less than 70 IQ are called mentally retarded. Right. Who are superior? Those who have above 130. Who are in the normal range? Those who are between 90 and 110. If you want to see which category you belong to, you better administer a B.Ed test on you and calculate your mental age. Then you can calculate your IQ, right? Okay. So in order to measure intelligence in Sri Lanka, what are the methods we are using? Yes. How do we determine children's or people's intelligence? What tests do you conduct? Just tell me. Hello. What test do you conduct? Aptitude test. What test? Hello. What test do you conduct to
Aptitude.
aptitude test? In Sinhalese you call Buddhi Parikshane. Now, when you are doing a SLES exam, or if you are doing SLTS or SLAS exam or foreign service exams, there is an IQ test. In the IQ test, your intelligence is measured. But how? You are given some problems you have to solve quickly. Depending on your average ability of solving these problems, you are awarded marks. Right. Some more scales of scales for measuring intelligence are mentioned here. David Wechsler developed the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale in 1939. Right. Then Wechsler also developed the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for children, and they contain two subscales, verbal and performance, which provide a verbal IQ and performance IQ. The subscales are combined for the total IQ. Another way of measuring is doing this Wechsler scale. They are, according to the Wechsler scale, two subscales are there: verbal performance scale and verbal IQ scale. So when these two scales, measurement of these two scales are added up, you can you can find the total IQ. Test of aptitude and achievement. Some of the tests used to test intelligence are known as aptitude test. Group test, such as the California Achievement Test and the SAT, the Scholastic Assessment Test, which these are conducted in America. These are known as, these are some examples of aptitude test. Now I gave you some examples, some of those tests conducted at the, right, for selection of people for higher jobs in Sri Lanka, aptitude tests are conducted, especially if you want to join customs. There is an IQ test. If you want to join SLAS, Sri Lanka Administrative Service, there is an aptitude test. You have to pass it. If you want to join SLES, Sri Lanka Education Administrative Service, there's an IQ, there's an aptitude test which you have to pass. Right. Now, ranges of intelligence scores. Two extremes of levels of intellectual functioning are known as developmentally disabled and gifted. So what is that? Developmentally disabled people are the mentally retarded ones, and those who are superior are the gifted ones. Right. Now we have discussed the concept of what? Intelligence. Right. Did you understand it? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So I will send this to Arshad, so he will share it with you. Right. So we have, next day we will discuss emotional development, and the following day we will discuss social development. Okay. Got it?
Okay, sir.
So tomorrow you have the lesson which was scheduled for today. Mr. Rohan will conduct it tomorrow. Okay. I was supposed to conduct my lecture tomorrow, but I had an emergency, so I mutually changed it with him. Okay, got it? So
Yes, sir.
make sure that you attend tomorrow's lecture at the same time, because it will be conducted by my friend. Okay. So until we meet next time, right? So we'll finish psychology syllabus within this month. So I will have another 2 or 3 days. Within that, I'm going to cover up the whole syllabus. So don't worry. If I need, I will get one or two extra days, right? Because I had some issues with my signal issues and all that at the beginning. Right, I couldn't conduct the lectures properly. So I might be able to do it in times to come. So now there is no time. Now we have only about 6 minutes, 5 minutes. We have no time to start a new lesson. So we'll shall we wind up for today? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then thank you very much for joining me. I'll share this with sir. Good night.
Good night. Thank you very much,
Good
sir.
night, sir.